News 5's Good Morning Cleveland starts now.
And we are following breaking news now at 6. Air Tracker 5 over this accident. 2 workers who were blocking off a construction zone were hit by a car.
That driver took off. This happening overnight on the South Euclid University Heights border. Jesse is there for us getting the latest information. What can you tell us?
Hey guys, well, I just spoke to Cuyahoga County maintenance workers, and they say this whole thing is so upsetting because those 2 workers were just out here doing their job this morning when it happened. Now, it happened about 3 hours ago. 2 men were striping the road here on Cedar. They were making a new construction zone so that a repaving project could begin today. The South Euclid police car was driving behind them to make sure drivers saw the workers and that they were safe, but a car going east on Cedar crossed the center line and hit those 2 men who, I'm told, were then rushed to the hospital. The driver of that car, though, didn't stop, taking off after hitting them and driving another 4 miles or so before crashing into a pole near Som Center Road. We don't know the driver's condition at this time or the condition of those 2 workers here. We're making calls to figure that out, but it seems like this area may be closed for a while as investigators try to piece together what happened. So, John, how is this affecting traffic right now?
Yeah, Jesse, giving you an aerial look at the situation that you were just talking about, South Green and Cedar. This is the only problem that we've got for the morning commute. You can see crews still on scene for that issue at South Green and Cedar, but if we head to our maps, you'll notice that the highways are all clear. So the morning commute is great. You will just notice that that area is blocked off. And you'll notice another accident icon on the maps. That is where the car fled to and then crashed a little further away on Cedar Road. No problems down south in the Akron area. Our drive times are all up to speed, so the morning commute looking good sans this incident at South Green and Cedar, guys.
Goes without saying, but we got a lot going on this Thursday. But we know a lot of you are getting ready to head out to conquer your Thursday, so we want to get that forecast.
You know, grab the umbrella before you head out the door. We're not going to be soaked today, but we do have some showers in the forecast. Looking outside right now, and hey, you've got the turbine below, and you've got some wind outside for sure, but we're dry for now. Roads are just fine. We just talked to John. No worries for your morning drive yet. I do have some showers in the forecast. Let's get to it. Show you what we have going on. There's that rain pushing near Toledo. That will eventually make its way closer to us. By the time it gets to us, though, it will be lighter stuff. I do not expect a whole lot of rain. This is just ground clutter. It's feedback from the radar. This is actual rain, but notice it's just some light rain. Enough to make the roads a little on the damp side. Run the wipers a few times, but shouldn't be bad. And we're not expecting enough wind to really mess with umbrellas, so take the umbrella with you. We should be all right. Before that rain rolls in, look at these numbers. Worcester, you're now up to 35. You were at 28 last hour. Numbers are warming up. That's good news because once that moisture rolls in here, it will not be snow. It will not be anything slick. It'll just be rain. Be careful. Cloudy, couple showers. Damp roads through the afternoon into the evening drive. But again, like I said, we've got a lot of dry time and temperatures are still going to manage to warm up into the 50s thanks to that south wind. Not as warm tomorrow, not as dry tomorrow either. We'll show you that. We got to talk about a pretty wet next couple of days, guys.
Trent, thank you. A new state law takes effect today that totally changes the way self-defense cases are prosecuted.
Up until now, someone claimed self-defense. They had to prove it. The pressure now, though, is on prosecutors, and we've already seen this law impact one case. Meg Shaw is here in the studio with us this morning with more on this. Good morning, Meg.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, just this week, charges were dropped in a case against a Cleveland man on trial for murder and voluntary manslaughter. And prosecutors say this may just be the beginning of outcomes like this. Now, in this specific case, Joshua Walker was on trial for shooting and killing a man outside of a bar in October of 2017. Surveillance video shows a man in a red hoodie walk up to Walker at the bar. The two begin fighting and eventually wrestling their way outside. Now, Walker pulls a pistol from his pants and shoots at that man before running away from the scene. He did claim self-defense in the case, but in November of 2017, he was charged with murder. This week, though, the state dropped their case against him, saying that at least one of the 3 elements of Walker's self-defense claim was not met.
That he didn't violate a duty of retreat, that he wasn't the cause of the incident, and that he had a reasonable belief of serious physical harm and or imminent death.
The Cuyahoga County prosecutor says Walker was on federal probation at the time of the shooting, so he's currently facing charges for having a firearm. Moving forward, the prosecutor's office says it's going to be much more difficult to prosecute murder and homicide cases where there's a self-defense claim. Their office is now working to reevaluate. Katie.
Okay, Mick, thank you. The Lordstown School District is launching a new campaign to help students now that the GM plant is closed. It's called Lordstown Strong. The district says the focus is to provide students with the confidence that their school has their back. So that means no more classroom fees, the elimination of pay-to-play fees for sports, and a new clothing and food pantry.
State troopers say the ATV rider that led troopers on this dangerous chase turned himself in. It started on 480 last week. Troopers tried to pull over Albert Kelly when they spotted him riding on the interstate. The chase ended up going through several neighborhoods in Cleveland before being called off near Robinson Jones Elementary School.
You know, we keep hearing about credit card skimmers, but would you know how to spot one of those devices? It can be really tough. So Broadview Heights police are sharing some tips after one was found at an ATM. So take a look at these side-by-side photos. The one on the left has a skimming device attached to the ATM. The one on the right has had the skimming device removed. It's really difficult to tell the difference. So this photo makes it a little clearer. Police highlighted some clues that you need to look for. In the red, a flat metal piece like that is inserted into the card reader slot. The area in the orange is highlighted because there are unusual gaps and spaces around the front plate of the ATM. And the green is highlighted because there's a gap where the receipt prints out. One more thing they say to look for. In this picture, you can see a tiny little hole. Well, identity thieves, they say, put a camera there to record your keypad strokes when you're using the ATM. Police say you should always inspect a card reader before you use it. They're most likely, they say, to show up at ATMs and gas pumps.
Time right now, 6:07. The grounding of all Boeing 737 MAX planes has forced Iceland Air to cancel its Cleveland route. That plane was the only one the airline used on the routes. Iceland Air has suspended flights for the winter, but they were supposed to pick up again in May. They're gone for good now. If you had a flight booked, you can get a full refund. You might not have to worry about springing forward or falling back much longer. State lawmakers are working on a bill to make daylight saving time the standard time in Ohio. If the Sunshine Protection Act passes, Ohio would be the third state to opt out of the time change, joining Arizona and Hawaii. Even if the governor signs the bill, it still has to be approved by Congress. 28 other states are already considering doing the same thing. Well, the smile on baseball fans' faces are a little bit wider this morning. Today, 30 Major League Baseball teams start what they hope is a run to the World Series.
Yeah, and for the Tribe, that journey starts up in Minnesota this afternoon. The Tribe will be without one of its big stars, though, after missing most of spring training with a calf strain. Shortstop Francisco Lindor is now nursing an ankle sprain. The team is still trying to figure out just how long he will be out. Meantime, the team will be taking on the Twins. Kluber on the mound. And he says the Tribe is ready to win.
I mean, I think that every year, you know, we expect to win. I think that's the goal here, and nothing different than that. I think that just like every other year, I think spring's been good in the sense that, you know, we kind of developed that identity as a team.
Okay, first pitch, 4:10 in Minneapolis. The Tribe's home opener at Progressive is Monday. They'll be facing off against the White Sox. I checked the weather in Minneapolis today, about 50 degrees,
right,
Trent, for the high, so it should be pretty good day to play ball and get a W there.
Dry, which is good news.
Yeah.
Will be cool for sure on Monday when they come back. We're also not going to be cloudy, so it's going to be a little bit looking better. It's going to look a little bit better, but it's going to feel a little bit colder. The good news is all this rain we have these next couple of days, it's gone by the time we get to that home opener here in Cleveland. Unfortunately, for the next couple of days, we do have to deal with some wet weather. Right now, it's pushing in. It's pushing through Indiana, approaching about the whole, Toledo area. It's really starting to weaken also, so it's something we're going to keep an eye on. But, hey, by the time it gets to your area, temperatures are already warming up. New Philly, you're still at 30, but you will not be below freezing by the time the rain gets in here. And, guys, I don't have a whole lot of rain in the forecast today, just a few light showers.
Coming up, one woman takes her snacking serious. That's very serious for those of you who don't know Instagram, Twitter language. Anyway, we'll tell you why she's suing TGI Fridays over these chips.
because they want to be part of the shops, the restaurants, the bakeries.
Growing pains in a Cleveland hotspot, the E-Team looking at how Little Italy is fighting to preserve its history while also facing the future.
First, a woman accused of conning friends and banks out of millions goes on trial today.
And this morning's GMA First Look is the stranger-than-fiction story. How did this woman go from high-flying Manhattan socialite to an accused fraud facing 15 years in prison? Anna Delvey, whose real name is Anna Sorkin, is an alleged scam artist who stands accused of stealing $275,000 from banks, hotels, and friends. Prosecutors say all part of an elaborate scheme to keep up her illusion of grandeur. Claims Sorkin denies.
What she did do is take advantage of a system that basically opened their arms and doors to anyone who had the appearance of being rich.
Sorkin's story first made headlines in this bombshell New York Magazine expose last year. It caught the eye of both Shonda Rhimes and Lena Dunham, who are both reportedly producing TV shows centered on the fake heiress. And we'll hear more from Anna Sorkin's lawyer coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Back now at 6:14, an age-old debate picking up in Little Italy. You can see right now from Air Tracker 5, new buildings are going up as we speak, right in the heart of one of Cleveland's most beloved and oldest neighborhoods. In this E-Team exclusive, Kevin Barry live down there on the streets below with how residents are really trying to find a balance. Kevin.
Yeah, down here, Katie, Little Italy is hot right now, but that construction equipment just on the other side of the street are dividing some of the people who live and work around Little Italy. Some are excited about what could be, and others are worried about things like the storefronts that line Mayfield Road that make Little Italy so special that new people want to move here. The streets that look roughly the same in 2019 as they did in the 1940s, the chorus of hammers and power tools make one thing clear.
It's never going to be the Little Italy that I knew when I was growing up.
Ray Christosic works to grow and protect the neighborhood. 2 new buildings will add about 70 new apartments to Little Italy, forcing the community to think about how much new development could be too much. Ray says he's still trying to figure that out.
I think there's a balance you got to strike of bringing density in, but not making it so dense where it's uncomfortable for people to live in.
But finding that balance can be nearly impossible.
We really don't know what that effect is going to be until people are actually living in them.
Matteo Silvaggio at Little Italy Wines is more certain.
I kind of hate to say it this way, but I don't think Little Italy is going to be able to survive what's going on with the construction.
Parking is already tight, and Matteo worries that adding more residents will only make it worse. He says he isn't against new people, but packing too many of them in might damage the feeling you get that makes them want to move to Little Italy in the first place.
I just kind of wish that they would have taken into consideration a little bit how congested this neighborhood is going to get.
9 o'clock this morning at City Hall, developers will present a new plan for some more apartments just around the corner and up the hill. Some residents I spoke to yesterday tell me they plan to be there this morning to make sure the city knows they don't want that additional construction just around the corner. Live in Little Italy, I'm Kevin Barry for the E-Team.
Kevin, thank you. Time right now, 6:17 on your Thursday. The FBI is now involved in the Jussie Smollett case. Agents are looking at why prosecutors in Chicago dropped the charges. Chicago's police union says it wants a federal investigation into the state attorney's role in what happened. Yesterday, Chicago police released some of Smollett's case file. His attorney says that isn't fair since the case was dismissed.
Here's a say what for you this morning. A woman in New York is really serious about her snacks because she is suing TGI Fridays, claiming that they misled people with their bags of potato skins. According to court papers, she recently bought a bag and she was pretty upset to learn that they don't contain real potato skins. She says the packaging is misleading people to think they are a healthier option. She's suing for $5 million. Doesn't bother Trent one bit this morning.
Is the skin healthier than the inside of the potato? because it tastes just as good. It tastes, I mean, these are...
Maybe they'll lead to changes like that McDonald's lawsuit those years ago. The lady's coffee was hot, she sued, and then they put on the cup, caution, coffee is hot. Maybe they'll put, caution, these are not potatoes.
These are not real tastes. Not real taters.
$5 million, though?
Yeah.
What was the bag, like 50 cents?
Probably. Oh, no, she might have had the big bag. They have the, you know, huge ones.
$1.50?
Anywho, what's happening out there weather-wise?
As I get potato skin stuff all over everything. We're going to be in the 50s. Bad idea to eat potato skins before the weather. We're in the 50s later on today. It should be a good day, but overall we do have some showers. We'll be dodging some light rain. Not a washout by any means, not nearly as bright as yesterday. It was going to be cloudy today, but we've got a few showers, but overall mainly dry. 40 in Ashtabula, 35 in Worcester, 43 in Mansfield, 30 in New Philly. There will be rain. Once the rain moves in, temperatures will not be as cold as they are right now. We were pretty clear. We've got super dry air in place, and it's kind of eating at this rain as it tries to get a little bit closer. As the clouds thicken up, as the winds out of the south, southwest start to pick up a little bit, temperatures are going to warm up. So New Philly, do not worry about snowflakes. This should all be rain as it tries to move through. Making its way closer to Toledo, moving through Toledo, I should say. By the time it gets to Cleveland, by the time it gets to most of northern Ohio, should just be some light rain showers rolling through. It'll be here, though, between probably 7 and 9, though. So during the peak of that morning drive, we'll keep an eye on it. I don't expect anything major, but you will have to run those wipers a few times. Temperatures are actually going to be warming up. We're in the upper 40s through midday into the afternoon. We're in the 50s. It will be a mild day today. It'll be a breezy day today, but it will not be a completely soaked day today. Just kind of drizzly, off and on light rain showers here and there. Grab the umbrella, take it with you, and you may have to need that just in case. Overnight tonight, we got another round of rain coming our way. That's going to be a little more impactful. I don't expect heavy rain with it again, but it's a little steadier. So maybe some ponding on the roads early Friday morning, and then we kind of keep it wet through the day. Even heavier rain coming our way, steadier and heavier, more impactful rain coming our way for Saturday and into the weekend. It's not a washout all weekend, though. Gets much colder, though, finishing out the weekend. We'll show you that full 7-day forecast coming up. John Rutter's up in Air Tracker 5 right now. Roads are dry for now, man.
Yeah, roads are dry. We're still keeping an eye on that accident, South Green and Cedar Road right now. I was actually chatting with the crew on scene, Jesse Schultz, and her photographer, Dave Kraska, saying that this is causing some confusion for drivers in the area. You can see the road still blocked off, and emergency crew is still on scene for that. So something to keep in mind as you head out the door in this area. Now let's head to our maps. I'm not noticing any other slowdowns or problems out there for the morning commute. This area, again, South Green and Cedar, where that construction worker was hit. The car that hit that construction worker fled and then crashed a couple of miles down the road on Cedar. So that's why you're seeing that other accident icon out there. I'm not seeing any problems in the Akron area. We're going to stay on top of this scene here and pass along any new information that we get, guys. We'll send things back inside.
Thank you, John. The Olympics are hoping to connect with the younger generation. A recommendation was just accepted to bring new sports to the Paris Summer Games in 2024. They include breakdancing, skateboarding, climbing, and surfing. The chances of a perfect NCAA tournament bracket at this point is about 1 in 281 trillion.
Yeah, not very good, right? But a guy in Ohio, he's getting it done right now.
Okay.
He's the only person left in the nation with a perfect bracket. Now the NCAA is flying Greg Nigel to Anaheim to attend the Michigan-Texas Tech game tonight. He's from C-Bus, Columbus, and he's been making national headlines for his predictions. Yeah, we see why. He's the first person ever to make it to the Sweet 16 with a perfect bracket. He'll be talking all about the whirlwind experience this morning on Good Morning America. You can catch it right here starting at 7 o'clock. Wow, good for him. That's awesome. Up next, easing your pain with some classical music. How adding those sweet, calming tunes to your ibuprofen could really help with the headache.
And superhero fans, get ready for a super long movie. The Avengers will have you sitting for a while. We won't make you wait, though. We'll be back in 2 minutes as the Black Widow, Black Panther. And who would you be, the Hulk?
The Eater. That's what we're going to call him.
Probably the Hulk.
Yeah, you'll be the Hulk.
Don't make me angry.
Guy needs to get in with Warren.
Welcome back, 6:24 right now. And over the commercial break, we were talking about it. I'm clearly a Thor. Just your body, physique,
very highly of yourself.
And I'm good at hammering things. Anyway, we're talking about a pretty good day today. Just grab the umbrella. You're going to need it. I got a couple showers in the forecast, but overall not a washout by any means. Quick 7-day forecast does put us with a couple showers. Again, I want to show you really quickly that we do have a good day today, 50s, 40s the next couple of days with better rain chances as we go through the next couple of days. We dry it out Sunday. We also cool it off a lot, but we do rebound partially on Monday.
It does make you feel better, right? If you are looking for a way to get rid of your headache a little faster, pair it with some Mozart. We're talking about ibuprofen. According to a new study out of the University of Utah, Mozart improves the effectiveness of the pain reliever by 23%. Scientists say the findings could help cut down on how much of the medication that we need to take. Robots do just about everything nowadays, right? And now there is one that can whip up a smoothie for you.
Yeah, it cleans up the mess it makes too, making that smoothie. Look at this thing right here. This is the smoothie making robot made by a company called Blended in San Francisco. So this thing blends up to 45 smoothies in an hour. So that robot arm there dispenses ingredients, it does the dishes, it pours with precision. Might be a while before everyone has one of these in their house. This one machine right here, folks, costs $70,000. No thanks. Can't wait. Get ready to spend some time in the theater. Avenger fans, online ticket sites are showing a runtime for Endgame of 182 minutes. That's more than 3 hours. Disney still hasn't said that's official. But if it's true, that will make Endgame the longest Marvel movie yet. It hits theaters April 26th. Just ahead, Energy Options is a company's offer to lure customers with the free Google Home Mini Legit. The E-Team checks out that offer.
And just a little bit of exercise goes a long way. How long you need to be working out every day to add some extra years to your life.
Good Morning Cleveland begins now with breaking news.
And we do continue to follow that breaking news for you at 6:30. 2 construction workers have been hurt in a hit and run.
This happened on Cedar Road. We have live team coverage. John Rutter's above and Air Tracker 5. Jesse is on the scene on the ground getting us updates. Jesse, what's the latest?
Well, the roads are still closed here as investigators are trying to piece together exactly what happened. But here is what we know. 2 workers were striping the road here on Cedar near South Green. That's right on the border of University Heights and South Euclid. They were actually creating a construction zone for repaving work that was supposed to start today. I'm told the 2 men were behind the truck laying down the paint, and that South Euclid police car was actually escorting the truck and workers, presumably to make sure something like this didn't happen. But that's when a car going eastbound on Cedar veered past the center and hit those 2 workers, and it didn't stop. The driver eventually crashed into a pole about 4 miles east near Psalm Center Road. We're still making calls to figure out the condition of the driver of that car and the 2 workers. We're going to stay on top of this, but I just got done talking to Cuyahoga County maintenance workers who say this whole thing is so upsetting because those 2 men were just out here doing their jobs this morning when it happened. But again, these roads are still closed, so I'm assuming this is affecting traffic this morning. How's it looking, John?
Yeah, Jesse, Cedar Road blocked off between South Green and Campus Road this morning. Got another live look at that scene from the air here in Air Tracker 5. Police directing traffic around that scene. If you're coming westbound on Cedar Road, they're going to direct you onto Campus Road. You can kind of get around it and weave your way back to South Green. Now, you mentioned that the car involved in this incident crashed a little ways away. Very dark. We did go out there and shoot some video of that scene. Crews are working on repairing the pole now. That is Cedar Road near Psalm Center Road. Again, very dark, tough to see that location. Let's go to our maps. I'm not noticing any other issues that are going to affect the morning commute. So things are looking good for the morning drive on the highways. All of our highways are up to speed in both the Cleveland and the Akron area. We're going to stay on top of this scene here on Cedar Road and pass along any other details when we get them, guys.
We'll keep checking back in with both of you, John, Jesse. Thank you. Okay, weather-wise, we will see a few rain showers today.
Yeah, a couple light showers, nothing major. Take the umbrella with you. If you do forget it home, you're probably going to be okay either way if you go quick enough or just wait it out.
Do the hand over your head.
The hand over, yeah. But again, a couple light showers rolling through. Nothing major by any means. This is it moving through Toledo right now. Should weaken even more so. More of this is drying up as it gets closer. There's so much dry air in place. I mean, yesterday was great. It was beautiful. There were no clouds in the sky. Our air is super dry. We've got clouds thickening up from the top down, essentially. Our atmosphere is going to get a little bit wetter. It's going to get a little juicier, essentially. And those showers are going to start to make their way all the way to the ground. So we do have some light rain in the forecast today. I do not have a lot, though. Check out what it's doing, though. Temperatures, we're already warming up. Worcester, you were at 28 about an hour and a half ago. What is it, 6:30, hour and a half ago, you were at 28. 30 in New Philly. Numbers are going to be rising. Already 48 Cleveland, 46 Sandusky, 46 in Norwalk. As temperatures warm, we're going to get a slightly better shot for some rain. Again, not a washout by any means, but just grab the umbrella, take it with you just in case. Tomorrow, much wetter, guys.
Okay, Trent, thank you. Time right now, 6:33. A new self-defense law takes effect today in Ohio. It shifts the burden of proof in self-defense cases from the defendant to the prosecution.
I want to bring in Meg now. Meg, the charges were already dropped in a murder case because of this new law.
Yeah, it happened just this week, and a prosecutor here in Cleveland says their jobs just got much more difficult. Under the old law, it was on the person who used deadly force to justify their actions, but now it's up to prosecutors to prove the shooter or victim didn't have a reason to use deadly force. Now, earlier this week, the new law was put into motion. A murder case was dropped. Joshua Walker was on trial for murder and voluntary manslaughter. Walker claimed self-defense in this case. A surveillance video that you're looking at shows Walker shooting and killing another man outside of a bar after he was attacked by that now deceased man. But charges against him were just dropped because prosecutors told us under the new law they didn't feel they could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was not acting in self-defense. That prosecutor says moving forward, they'll have to approach deadly force self-defense cases very differently.
And you'll see less cases perhaps go to trial or even be prosecuted, go to the grand jury with that in mind. Not only do we have the presumption, and they have the presumption of innocence, but they may also, in certain cases, have the presumption of having acted in self-defense.
Right now, the prosecutor's office is looking to see if they need to reevaluate any of their current cases under this new law. Terrence.
All right, Meg, thank you. 6:35 right now. People with a medical marijuana card have a new place to shop today in Greater Cleveland. Terrasana plans to open a new dispensary in Garfield Heights this afternoon. They hope to open 3 other locations in Ohio later this year. Adding more places to buy medical marijuana should be a boost to the industry. Right now, only about 28% of people registered for the drug program in Ohio have actually purchased marijuana. The Inquirer blames high product prices and licensing fees. It also says limits on what you can buy are too strict and some dispensaries are too remote. You can read more about the medical marijuana program, including pending dispensary locations, on the News 5 app.
Time right now is almost 6:36. Child support changes also take effect today. Calculation orders for families increase from a combined income cap of $150,000 to $300,000. Healthcare payments will also now be taken into consideration, as will shared parenting time. And the minimum order increases from $50 a month to $80. It's the first update to Ohio's child support system since the early 1990s. An estimated $100 million a year in child support goes unpaid in our state.
The transportation budget needs to be settled by Sunday, but right now Ohio's lawmakers can't reach a compromise on the gas tax. Governor DeWine proposed adding 18 more cents per gallon at the pump. The House suggested adding nearly 11 cents over 2 years. The Senate wants only a 6-cent increase. Now the issue is headed to a conference committee to try and work out the differences.
I think we're all ready, right? Major League Baseball opens the 2019 season today. 30 teams will be taking to the field. Indians taking on the Twins up in Minnesota this afternoon. Across the entire league, though, get this, there is not a single active player left from the 20th century.
Yeah, that means every player on the diamond started in 2000 or later. Don't think about that too long. Okay, coming up, we have a winner where the third largest Powerball jackpot ticket was sold.
Plus, remembering to pop the pill every day could become a thing of the past because of these contraceptive earrings. We'll explain how they work when we come right back. Not one player left from the 1990s, the 80s, 70s. Keeps on.
The time right now is 6:40. Welcome back. New for you this morning, researchers from the Georgia Institute of Technology are testing contraceptive earrings.
Yeah, emphasis on the testing here. These patches are filled with hormones, and they fit onto the backs of a wide variety of earrings. They say the patches would only need to be changed weekly. The idea is to make it easier to remember to take the pill every day. The technology could also be adapted, they say, to be used on watches, rings, choker necklaces. These are just prototypes and, again, have yet to be tested on people.
Could you just chill in a bed for about 2 months?
Sure.
2 months in a bed. Okay, so researchers in Germany are looking for people to take part in a study. They'll give you $19,000 to do it. We told you how scientists from Europe and NASA are researching the effect of artificial gravity on astronauts. Told you that earlier this week. So now they need healthy women between 24, 55 years old for more testing this fall. Again, just lie around in bed for just 2 months.
19 grand.
Yeah.
That's not a bad paycheck there. Goodness gracious.
Right? 2 months of laying in bed?
Right? No alarms.
Sign me up. Sign me up. Anyway, we're talking about rain rolling through this morning. Again, not a heavy rain. It looks heavy off to our west, but notice it is drying up, and it will continue to, just kind of taper off and dry up as it comes closer. But we're still going to be tracking some rain, some light stuff through the morning drive. Again, between 7 and 9, it should be rolling through. We're looking outside right now. This is Cedar Point, Sandusky. This is where we see the rain first. Temperatures are already starting to warm up, though. Cleveland, 48, 35 in Worcester, but that number's creeping up also. By lunchtime, we're at about 50 degrees. So temperature-wise, just like yesterday, but sky-wise, definitely not. Cloudy with, a few showers. Roads are going to be damp today, but not completely soaked.
All right, Trent, thank you. Breaking overnight, passengers stranded overseas. Why WOW Airlines suddenly has stopped operations.
And haven't heard this name in a while. Plus, why former Cuyahoga County Commissioner Jimmy DeMora is heading back to court. Come on back.
And we're back at 6:45. Breaking overnight, Iceland's WOW Airlines has ceased operations. All of its flights canceled.
They're the latest budget airline to go out of business, citing lack of money, and negotiations for a buyout failed. Some passengers now stranded overseas. The airline apologized, advising passengers to check available flights with other airlines. This morning, Boeing is sending out upgrades to its 737 MAX 8 planes across the world. This is in direct response to those 2 deadly crashes involving those planes in the last 6 months. One change gives more control to pilots if something happens with the automated systems. Another makes a certain warning system standard on all planes. Planes are grounded all over the world. We still don't know when they'll be able to fly again, even with these upgrades.
Oh, from the air to the sea. You remember this mess, right? Aboard a cruise ship after the engine failed in rough seas. Passengers were recording as the furniture went flying. Parts of the ceiling collapsed. Well, now we know what happened here, what caused the engine failure just off the coast of Norway.
And what caused it? It didn't have enough oil. A safety system on the Viking skyship went off when the oil ran low, stopping the engines. Crew members sent out a mayday call. They worked to keep the ship from slamming into rocks. About a third of the passengers were rescued by helicopter. The cruise eventually made its way back to port. But yeah, lack of oil.
Goodness.
Check your oil. Check your oil. It's one of the first things you learn. Gas, oil, washer fluid.
Yeah.
Make sure you got good fluids.
Check your windshield wipers today, too.
Right,
sure
right.
Those are working.
Oh, man, for sure. We're going to have to run those a couple times today. Not a ton, but they'll get a workout over these next couple of days, starting today through probably Saturday afternoon or evening. I do have some rain coming our way. Temperatures are still mild. I mean, we're still in the 50s today. We are going to cool it off a bit the next couple of days, but all in all, other than dodging some light rain today, it's going to be an okay day. We're at 50 degrees by noon, so we're still going to warm it up quite nicely. Right now, it's still pretty chilly. I've got 40 in Ashtabula, 35 in Worcester, 30 in New Philly right now. Looking outside again, Cedar Point looking pretty good. We've got rain, though. Here it is. Grab the umbrellas. You're going to need it. I don't have a lot of heavy rain rolling through or really anything heavy, but we are going to have to dodge a few light showers. Run those wipers a few times. Remember, when your wipers are on, your headlights need to be on also. But I do not expect this to be a soaker of a day, just kind of a soggy or a damp day. Temperatures are going to warm up, though. Right now, we're definitely cold inland where we've been clear, but there's those clouds and there's that warmer air trying to move on in here. Fremont, Sandusky, Norwalk, Elyria, you get the rain first, and then it slides through the rest of your morning. By around noon, yeah, we'll all have some wet roads. We'll all be running those wipers a few times, off and on, kind of on the intermittent side. They shouldn't be cranked up to high today. We'll get into that probably tomorrow morning. We're doing okay the rest of the day today. Just a few light showers off and on. Temperatures likely in the upper 40s and low 50s. After we get through tonight, that's when we're going to bring that steadier rain in here for your Friday morning drive, and then some heavier rain for your Saturday. Your 7-day forecast is coming up. Let's get you out the door right now. John Rutter's up in Air Tracker 5. Streets are dry for now, man. How's it looking?
Yeah, streets are dry, not looking too bad for the morning drive. We are over South Euclid and Cedar Road right now because it is blocked off between Campus and South Green because of an accident involving a couple of construction workers. Still blocked off, police directing traffic around the scene onto Campus Road. This is the only problem that we've got. If we head to our maps, all of our highways are clear for the morning commute. Again, this is the only crash in both the Cleveland or the Akron area. Drive times, they are all up to speed in both the Cleveland and the Akron area. So far, so good for that morning commute, guys. We'll check back in with you here in just a few minutes.
All right, John, thank you. Right now, one energy company is offering you a free gift to choose them. But is it legit?
The E-Team's John Kosick breaks down what you need to know.
An online promotion by Arcadia Power offering Ohio consumers the opportunity to save with clean energy and a free Google Mini to those who sign up by March 31st, prompting a conversation. The Better Business Bureau says that Arcadia is, in fact, an accredited business registered with the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio, but it's always good to trust your instincts.
I think it's important if somebody is offering you some freebie as an incentive to sign up for a service or buy a product, you always check it out first. Make sure you completely understand your obligations to receive this free item or service, and again, check the company out online.
For the E-Team, I'm John Kosick.
This story is starting a big debate online. A guy tweeted out saying he introduced his coworkers to bagels St. Louis style. You see here, they're cut like a loaf of bread. People online said jokingly, St. Louis should be canceled.
Okay, so a lot of people had fun with it on Twitter. Check out what Chips Ahoy did. They poured milk right into the cookie package, and then they captioned it, quote, "Today we're eating our cookies St. Louis style."
I cannot.
So, it does look like a good idea, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I could
tell you rocket, they say. All right, up next, an update on the breaking news we've been following for you in South Euclid, where a car has hit 2 construction workers and then took off.
And then the latest construction debate happening in Little Italy today, plus how much exercise could save your life. It's all 1 minute away. Come on back.
Good Morning Cleveland continues with the morning sprint.
6:52 right now. We start with breaking news. 2 construction workers hurt in a hit and run.
John Rutter and Jesse Schultz have been covering this for you all morning. We start with Jesse.
Yeah, well, 2 construction workers are in the hospital this morning after a car here in South Euclid hit them while they were simply doing their job and took off. Now, new construction workers are continuing that job this morning, but here's what the scene looked like just an hour ago. Those 2 men were outside their truck on Cedar Road, escorted by a police officer while striping the road. They were making a construction zone for a new repaving project happening today. That's when a car crossed the center line, hit them, and took off, like I said. The driver, though, kept going until eventually crashing into a pole nearly 4 miles east. What's not known at this time is the condition of everyone involved, including the driver of the car that took off. But stick with News 5 as we continue to follow this story. Live in South Euclid, Jesse Schultz, News 5.
Well, right now, Cedar Road blocked off at Campus Road. Police directing traffic around that incident, Jesse, because of all of that that has happened this morning on Cedar between South Green and Campus Road. You can see police still on scene. The road's still blocked off right now. This is the only problem that we've got for the morning commute. The highways are all clear in both the Cleveland and the Akron area, and our drive times are up to speed, guys.
No one in Ohio matched all the numbers from the Powerball drawing last night, but someone in Wisconsin did. That winning ticket is worth $768 million, the third largest Powerball jackpot in U.S. history.
A federal appeals court will let Jimmy DeMora fight his corruption conviction. The former Cuyahoga County commissioner is serving 28 years for accepting bribes. Cleveland.com is reporting he will be allowed to argue 3 issues with his case. Starting today, 1,700 employees at the General Motors plant in Toledo will be taking part in civil rights training. That plant faces several allegations of racial harassment. Some workers say they even found nooses.
Testimony continues today against the man accused of killing a couple inside their car dealership in Cleveland. Investigators played video in court yesterday showing a man they think is Joseph McAlpin at the business. 2 other men are also accused in the murders. The morning sprint continues with Kevin Barry.
A quick walk through Little Italy, Taryn, shows why people like it so much and want to move here. The restaurants and the storefronts are what's pulling more people in and creating a lot of construction. 70 new apartment units are going to go in between this building and one just down the street. And that construction is splitting some people who live and work around Little Italy.
We really don't know what that effect is going to be until people are actually living in them.
I kind of hate to say it this way, but I don't think Little Italy is going to be able to survive what's going on with the construction.
In just about 2 hours, another developer is presenting their plans for another apartment complex just up around the corner. And some residents and business owners we spoke to around Little Italy yesterday say they're concerned for the storefront, so they're going to make sure they're there showing the city that they don't want that new apartment complex to go in. Live in Little Italy, I'm Kevin Barry for the E-Team.
All right, Kevin, today a new state law goes into effect that totally changes the way self-defense cases are prosecuted. Up until now, if someone claimed self-defense, they had to prove it. But now the pressure is on prosecutors. Already, this has had an impact here in Cleveland. Just this week, the state dropped their case against a man charged with murder and voluntary manslaughter. Prosecutors telling us under the new law, they didn't feel they could prove beyond a reasonable doubt he was not acting in self-defense. Moving forward, the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office says their jobs just got much harder, and they believe are going to start seeing less deadly force self-defense cases go to trial. They're currently evaluating their cases of self-defense. Katie.
Okay, Mick, thank you. The Air Force says it needs $5 billion to repair 2 bases damaged by Hurricane Michael and devastating flooding. Without the extra money, the Air Force says 18 other bases worldwide would not be fixed. A vote is set in the House today on a military ban. President Trump wants people who are transgender blocked from serving. But the House is voting on a resolution to keep the Defense Department from enforcing the ban. The Pentagon will start enforcing the ban on April 12th.
How your tax dollars support education is the focus of a hearing today. Betsy DeVos is testifying to members of Congress again today. The Education Secretary will explain the 10% cut in education spending next year. It also defunds the Special Olympics. McDonald's now agrees workers should make more money. The fast food chain is no longer fighting a push to increase the minimum wage, but the restaurant says the change should be made gradually.
Spending 30 extra minutes a day moving around could save your life. The American Cancer Society reviewed 14 years of information, and the experts there say replacing 30 minutes of sitting with something physical cuts your chances of dying early in half.
Issue free out there for the morning commute this morning. Got a picture of the maps, and you can see all of our highways up to speed for the morning drive in the Cleveland area. I'm not noticing any slowdowns or other issues out there in the Akron area. Things looking great for that morning commute. Also, some clouds up here, Trent, but it looks like it could be another pretty sunrise for us.
Beautiful sunrise on tap, but I do have some rain. Those clouds will eventually drop some rain showers moving across the Lake Erie Islands right now towards Sandusky. So a few light showers today, better shot at some, scattered rain tomorrow. Saturday probably looks like our wettest of the next 7, though. After that, wet Saturday, things get cold, but we're in the process of warming up for your home opener on Monday. Should be bright, though.
Yeah, but it's opening day for baseball. Go Tribe, playing the Twins, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Have a great day.